Okay, I've put tape on my table so that I don't go out of frame. My last video I was going out of frame and I didn't like that, so I want to have a look at this walnut ink that my friend got for me. And what I've done, this is just plain smooth cardstock here. I've put some in a fountain pen. This is a fountain pen I got on Amazon. It came like a whole bunch of them for cheap. And I've put all kinds of inks and paints and stuff in them. And that's what that looks like. It's just one of those twist up, twist down kind of things. So I've got some in there. I've also got my dip pen. Just gonna try it with that. And then the other thing I would like to try is basically staining the paper to make it look kind of antique-y, like maybe tea stained or something on the walnut stained. So I've got a little dish to kind of do a little mix for that, because I think I'm going to dilute it. I've got this brush to kind of do the brushing on. I should use a sponge, but I don't know if I have one right here. Let me see, one second. Oh my gosh, I do. Okay. I have this kind of natural sponge. Sorry for my squeaky chair. So I'm going to break some of that actually off. I don't need this whole huge thing. There we go. Cool, we'll use that. Actually, let's try that first. So I'm going to... This is what the walnut ink looks like. Okay. And I'm just going to use a pipette to get some of that out. So just a pipette like this. Let's do this so you can see. I just splattered it. Okay. Okay. Let me close this before I knock it over. This, again, this is Daniel Smith walnut ink that I just spilled everywhere. Okay. So that's the color. I'll set this aside and grab this other sheet here. Okay. I'm going to put some water in here to dilute this. Try not to splash it everywhere. I'm also going to stir that up a little bit. Okay, we're going to see what it looks like brushed on and sponged on. How about that? So I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet. And we'll do this end here with the bamboo brush. Oh, again, this is just cardstock, so it's gonna want to curl with the water. Okay, let's see how that dries. And have a look at the sponge method. I'm going to get the sponge wet. Because I would like it to kind of look antique-y. I don't know if I have my brush, my sponge a little too wet maybe. I'm going to try it with the dry part of the sponge. Then I'm going to tap it with the wet side of the sponge. Oh, I think I like it like that, yeah. So get some ink down and then sort of blend it. Cool. Okay, so I'm just making it a little darker on the edges and blending it in a little more. I think I could get a technique down with this that might be kind of cool. I'm going to try one more thing here, if I can find it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to try one of these kind of blendy sponges and see what that does. We'll do that down here. This one I can kind of okay, about the same really. This is like maybe a little more solid. I'm gonna dip it in water and see if I can blend out a little. I'm guessing this is going to go a little differently on watercolor paper, but okay. So there's a few different methods there. So you can see it's making the paper pill from all that water. But it does look kind of antiqued. Let's see. Let's try it on watercolor paper, at least cheap watercolor paper. I've got some bee paper. I'm just going to take this off of here. So this has some texture to it, so that might be interesting. Let's see here. I'm gonna do the brush again. We'll do the same things again. That. Let's do the sponge method. Do that across the top here. The natural sponge. Blend it out with water. Oh, this is cool on the watercolor paper. Nice. Okay, yeah. A lot more subtle, a lot cooler, I think. On here, I'm gonna try to get a little darker on the edges. Okay. That's cool. Okay, let's try the other sponge. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's try it with this kind. Over here. So with it watered down in this little dish, it's pretty subtle. I want to try it full strength. I'm going to try to blend that quickly. Okay. All right, let's try a full strength here to see how dark we can get those edges. That's such a pretty color. Nice. Cool. I'll try it with this little guy. Interesting. Okay, so I can definitely get that darker. I get some water here. And it'll definitely background just like watercolor does. Make like cauliflowers and stuff, which is kind of cool because it does look like tea spilled on it, sort of, you know? So we can like put some down, pick some up. I think I like the natural sponge the best for this technique. I like the little sponge for the edges and the natural sponge for blending. That's cool. That's really cool. Let's see how that looks after we're done playing around here. Okay. I'm going to pull this sheet back over so we can have a look at the fountain pen. So I put this in here maybe, I don't know, an hour ago or so. Let's see how we go. Is it going to just start right up or not? Or do I need to push it down a little? So it's a very, you can see a light ink. But what's going to be really cool is if I can sketch with this, and then I can, when I go to paint my watercolor, that's going to blend in. So this is just water I'm painting on here, and that way our sketch just bleeds right into our painting and looks supernatural. That's cool. So that's with my fountain pen. That's being very difficult right now. They are fiddly. Fountain pens are so fiddly, but you get it. And then a dip pen may even be easier, so we're gonna give that a shot. So this is my dip pen. It's not a fancy one or anything, so I can get some, yeah, bolder lines with this pen. So if we are sketching with this guy, let's see about how that's gonna paint out with some watercolor. Let's do this first. Okay, so the bolder the line, the more it's gonna wanna stay. Again, this is also cartridge paper. I should do this on the watercolor paper here. Okay, let's try it on the watercolor paper. See how this is drawing over here like a treasure map or something, or old school botanical, which is really what I'm going for. Okay, so let's do a real thick line here. Okay. So I've sketched it. Let me close this up, let that dry a second. This is drying. So it can be watered down pretty good. If it's done darkly though, it looks like it was gonna stain under there, so something to know. If you do sketching lightly, it's not gonna be a big deal. Nice. Just using a ton of water on that right there and see what happens. Practically disappears. So this stain here was sitting here the longest. And these were newer, not quite as dry. So that's cool. All right. This is where it was painted on. It's pretty smooth actually, but not really the look I was going for. I was really going for more of this look here to do with botanical work. I think that's gonna look really cool to make it look antique-y. So again, that is the Daniel Smith. There it goes. It's not closed all the way. That looks pretty. Daniel Smith Walnut ink. I need to seal that better. That's really cool, huh? So also fun to play with. inks are lots of fun. Like if you that's gonna dry really cool. Okay, thanks for joining me. See you later.